So today we are gonna flavor our kombucha, and I will show you how we are gonna do this. So today we are gonna flavor our kombucha, and I will show you how we are gonna do this. I am gonna make 3 different flavors, and for this I'm gonna use my green tea kombucha I showed you in my last kombucha video. And it's a first fermentation of green tea kombucha. For the second fermentation I will do orange with ginger and cinnamon, and sweet organic apple with cinnamon and mint, and some mango and blueberries, and these are just frozen. And first I will prepare my flavors, and then we are going to assemble it. I'm going to use this little coffee grinder blender, and that will work very well. First I will make the apple cinnamon sauce, and to this I'm going to add a little bit of my kombucha. It will run through the mixer, and then we are just going to blend this. Now we have our first flavor ready. I had to just rinse my little blender, and to this we are going to add our ginger, and this is just a little thumb of ginger. Then we will make some fresh orange juice, and that's what I'm going to do here by hand. And just before you cut the orange, just roll it, and that will help to release the juices. Then we have here about 3/4 of a cup of orange juice, which are about 150 milliliters. And this is just to blend in the ginger very well, otherwise I wouldn't even blend this. And also here we are going to put in a big pinch of cinnamon, about 1 teaspoon, and just mix it again. And your second flavor is ready. And then our last flavor will be the blueberry and mango one. So this is about 1/2 cup of mango and a good handful of blueberries. And it's still a little bit frozen, so I hope it will work. Probably need a bit more of kombucha. And then we will mix this again. And here we are, our third flavor. I have already rinsed out my bottles very well. So I'm gonna use for this to flavor our kombucha. We also are going to make it sparkly, and that are we going to do with these kind of bottles. You need some kind of bottle that will have a plop lid, I call it. It's just because, yes, when you open it, it will plop because of the pressure. And there's coming pressure on this, and these bottles can hold that very well, and therefore it will produce some bubbles, so it will get sparkling. And that's why we flavor it for a second fermentation, because the sweetness of the fruit, and therefore your kombucha will get a second fermentation because it does get fresh sugars. And in our ready fermented kombucha are already our probiotics, so healthy bacteria and yeast. And they are going to ferment the fruit sugars, and that will build up pressure, and therefore it will get sparkling. So that's what we are going to do now. And I have 3 bottles for every flavor, so I'm going to divide them on my bottles. And then I will just have a little taste test. Oh my gosh, this does taste so good. This kombucha will be so super delicious. The other both flavors I know already, I've made them before. But this flavor combination is new for this time. But this does taste already amazing, so it will really be delicious. Really nice. And now I will just get my kombucha from first fermentation. I will rinse it a little bit in this one, and then we are just going to fill up the bottles. And always leave a little bit of room in the bottle to have a little bit of space for pressure. Don't completely fill them up. And then I will rinse my funnel. It would be better to use a plastic funnel because yes, it's just not as good to have metal with your kombucha. But yes, this is the only funnel I have right now here on hand, so but it will work, it will still work. It's not a really big deal or problem. And then just swing this a little bit so it gets all mixed very well again. And then we are just going to divide this one. And this will be a really warming flavor. So the orange with the cinnamon and the ginger is really warming and delicious. We are just going to fill this up with kombucha again. I'm just going to stir this because some of the culture do sink to the bottom. So I will stir my kombucha a little bit. And again, I did just rinse my funnel. And I'm going to put in my mint. Make sure your mint is clean. And this just does look nice. I'm using my chopstick to put it in. So, and now I have some kombucha left to drink like this. Then we will just close our bottles. And if you did spill as much as I did, you will need to clean up this mess. So now our kombuchas are ready for flavoring. So we have here our 3 flavors. These are the blueberry and mango. And we have here our orange and cinnamon and ginger. And our apple, mint and cinnamon. And they are really, really delicious. I have tried them before and this one is also really delicious. And what you're now going to do is let them sit at room temperature for about 1 to 2 days. And just regularly check on them. So, and what you're gonna do when you check them, you will just put your hand up, hold it, and then you're just going to plop it, open it. And be very careful. Maybe do this in the sink also, but be very careful with this because they will build up a good amount of pressure. And I'm serious, they will build up pressure. So regularly check on them a few times a day. And 1 to 2 days they need to stand. And then you can put them into the fridge and have them cold and delicious. But really be careful with opening because they build up a lot of pressure and eventually the kombucha will spritz out. And I will add in a video where that does happen of a bottle I just forgot for too long. And there got a lot of pressure on my kombucha and so my bottle almost exploded. I've had some of those accidents and yeah, so be careful with that. It's just really, really delicious to get a fresh, nice kombucha out of your fridge. Just sparkling and delicious, and this is so much better and healthier alternative to whatever kind of sodas, or it's just really delicious and lots healthier and filled with healthy probiotics. Also the bacteria and yeast in the kombucha do produce some B vitamins and other good minerals and vitamins during fermentation, so that's also nice. Just be careful with opening them. Let them stand for 1 to 2 days on room temperature and afterwards just put them into the fridge and they will hold a while, but check on them some regularly, but normally in the fridge they will ferment anymore. And I really, really love kombucha and it's good for digestion, so having this with your meal or just having this on their own, it's just awesome. I really love it, especially in summer, but also this one, the ginger with cinnamon, is really, really delicious right now for this warming flavor. And this one also has the cinnamon, so also warming because of the mint. It's also a little bit cooling, but really delicious. And this one is very nice and fruity and sweet. And you can do this with lots of other fruit and combinations. Just adjust them to your preferences. And I do have a lot of other ideas for flavorings and I will post some probably in the future. But you could of course also drink the kombucha after the first fermentation just on their own. And yes, this is it. Enjoy! Bye!